The brain could be an article of decoration to some, while for others a tool of breakthrough, capable of breaking through the shackles and spells of ignorance. Hail the man among men, the man whose knowledge flows like an unstoppable stream, whose contributions to his pool of knowledge drops like a snow in the winter. An intellectual and well-rounded professor, telling us his story today as a 3-year serving Vice-Chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Michael Umale Adiku.
My name is Professor Michael Adiku, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Abuja. I'm from a village called Ijege in Edumoga, in Okpoku local government area of Benue State. So that's where I am from, and sometimes we could go to catch birds in the bush, and there are certain things we are using. There's a plant called Landolfia. They even sell the seed along the road, and we add lime to it. We use it to catch birds. So I was very ingenious as a child. And that has actually affected my life. Most of those things later, when I went to the university, I decided to use them for research. Yes. And so it was easy for me to publish because my childhood has been filled with a lot of activities. There's a proverb that says, the money tells the day. So what you do as a child also affects what you become at your later age in life. In my childhood, I was a village boy. I played with a lot of things. And in those days, we could just get guinea corn stem. I want to make a car out of it.
Something good is happening. Something good is happening.
When I told you that I'm from a village, environment. My parents were village people. They never went to school. Are you understanding? But at a point when we were allowed to go to primary school, I felt very happy. I attended the village primary school. But of course, maybe I was a bit, a little gifted. When it was time to write common entrance, in those days, I did very well. I remember when I went to secondary school, I was number 3 on the merit list. Yes, and I went to Federal Government College, Jos. So that should tell you that I was not just a washout. My village background did not affect me, and I've been progressing. Let me tell you what is good about African life. From our background, we ate together with our parents. These days, every person goes to the kitchen to take his or her own food. In our time, it was not like that. You eat with your parents. If there are visitors, you eat with them. We all ate from the same pot. The traditional African way of existence. That was what we did when I was young. And even these days, I tell my wife, my children should do the same so that they love each other. And that continues.
The Benin man fondly reminisces his childhood as that of a mama's boy. He learnt a lot and gave credence to his village upbringing. Giving credit to this, his educational background.
I attended a primary school, a Roman Catholic school, in a place called Utonko in Benue State. After that, I went to Federal Government College, Jos. And then I finished that year also. I went to University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Now I finished in 1986. As a pharmacist, I read pharmacy. I had earlier gone to Benue to get what they call internship. you do a year. But decided to go back to Nsukka because I was given opportunity also at their medical center. So with that, I thought I could combine it with my master's, and that's exactly what I did. When I finished my internship, I went for NYSC in Kwara of those days. And when I finished from Kwara, I went back to Benue State and became a hospital pharmacist. That's what I did in 1990, and then went back to Nsukka.
He experienced cultural shock venturing into the tertiary institution.
Our own university was a kind of mixed feeling, mixed multitude, and a lot of things. I remember I went to the east, but I'm from Benue. I didn't meet too many Benue people at Nsukka. That was the first issue. The other issue is that we were in an era between the old and the new. If you look at Nigerian education from the early 60s and the rest of them, most of the students were fed very well. Half chicken, full chicken. That was their experience. Many of them lived alone. But by the time it came to our time in the mid-80s, I finished secondary school in 1981, entered the university the same year. Now, within that era, at a point, the federal government had to stop cooking in the university for students. And I think there was some kind of riot or all these things that students do. But that didn't help it. They still stopped it. So we had a feeling of the past, and then we had an experience that was a bit shocking. You have to now look at how do you eat. They privatized the kitchen, the cooks were sacked, and issues like that. I think for some universities, the cooks became security people. But I must say that I was in a strange environment. If you're in an environment where you cannot speak their language, you can't go to as a teacher. And because of my village background, I never went to see any teacher. I just did my work. Once I write the exam, it is written, I'll go back home. Fortunately, I was one of those who never failed. So I didn't need to go close to any lecture. And that saw me through my university days. Yeah, but for fun, sometimes I read my Bible, I write tracts, yes, I preach. Those are the things I do at my leisure time. Yes, and I like writing letters to friends. I'm not on Facebook. People try to put me there, but I'm not the one there. Because I know the damage those things can do at times. But I try to be as natural as possible. I told you I grew up in a natural environment. I've not deviated. But one thing I do, I don't allow things to enter my head. I can't tell you because I'm VC or I'm this. I coordinated the World Bank Assistance Project, which was superior to being a VC anyway. So I used to call VCs and speak to them. You don't use our money well, we'll deal with you. But are you getting it? So being a VC is not new to me. I don't allow things to enter my head. It's very natural.
Despite his busy schedule, the lover of God dedicates time to faith.
Well, I would said I like God. Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's why I try to do things. I don't allow my work to overweigh my other activities. So most of the time, if I'm met with aggression, I try to play it down. The first issue is not to react immediately. Because if you react immediately, you are likely to do very irrational things. So if somebody is aggressive, watch him. Before long, unless it's not normal, he too will cool down. That's how I react to aggression. I try to allow you to weigh down yourself. And when you are finished, I'll give you my own part of the story.
The peacekeeper blows us away with his qualification and experiences.
Well, one thing I like, University of Nigeria, where it is, the people around that environment are hardworking. So that gives me, because first of all, if you're in a strange environment, You don't know any professor you can cry to. You have to work extra hard. So I became a professor there in 1998. That's quite some time now. And I've done other things. I was national coordinator of a World Bank assisted project here. I was an Alexander von Humboldt fellow in Germany. I was a Masumai fellow in Japan. I was also doing some research in Manchester. When I was called back, I had to break it. I won the Nigerian Science Prize. So with that, it has been here, neither here nor there. Are you understanding? After the World Bank assisted project, that's when I got this job. So it has been some time in academics, sometimes. So this 11 years, I've not been in academics. I've always been in one managerial position, or I've been trying to put things together for the government. Yes.
Since assuming the position of Vice Chancellor, significant changes have been recorded.
Yes, let me tell you, when it comes to selection of a Vice Chancellor or even a rector, you know what the white man will do? They will advertise it globally. Are you understanding? It is your CV in terms of how much grant you have attracted that will attract you. That will attract you to that university as a Vice Chancellor. In Nigeria here, most of the universities are called them village Vice Chancellors. You must be a professor from that environment. If not, nobody will consider you. Or, yes, if not, they can't even consider you for rectorship. Most people see at colleges of education, this one belongs to us. That is not a system that can hatch serious knowledge. You know, lecturers are called eggheads. In other climes, in other places, it is the university that contributes to the government. Are you understanding? So when you are just because that in Nigeria, when people are looking at position, they are thinking of what they will gain. They are not thinking of what they will put in that system. That's our problem. And that's why we have hiccup here, we have hiccup there. These are not very smooth. That's not the idea of a university. Where you just sample 5 people. Maybe because they are from the same village. I remember one university said the Vice Chancellor must come from this village or no school. That's what we are doing. So the number actually doesn't matter. What is your CV? What is in your CV? That's what should matter to any person. I know some universities here in Abuja where their Vice Chancellors are from overseas. Hope you are aware. That is the idea of a university, universality. Are you understanding? That is anytime you are talking about the university, universality, in terms of staffing, in terms of student population. If you go to some universities in Ghana, there are over 5,000 Americans. How many do we have in our universities? So what we are doing here, I think we need to be more serious. That's the issue. The balancing factor in all this is what you want to do for that system. When you are outside, just like most staff who are not VCs, they don't know the challenge of the job. Are you understanding? Many people think either you have a lot of money to spend, so they can say, "Oh God, we don't have a faculty building." No. That's the type of thing you hear. Nobody is ready to say, how do we generate this money? The other year we brought, I think last year we brought somebody here from a university in the US, in the state of Oklahoma. He said they get only 7% of their annual budget from the state government. They generate the 93. Imagine University of Abuja, look at our land. We are very close to the government. So we should be able to generate the fund that will keep us here. Now, but before you can do that, you need the people to drive it. It's not just one person as a VC, and he wants to. You can't go far. Are you understanding? So I don't want to say balancing factor as you said, because things are not very balanced. We have been wrestling with the situation to see how we can have a midpoint. That is very, very critical, and that's what we are doing. I'm dreaming of a university that, one, is self-sufficient. And even if I'm not here, that's a prayer I'll be saying to God, help this university, let them be self-sufficient. I'm looking at a university where you have a lot of research coming out of the system, where we have people who are actually interested in research. You see, you cannot do much without research. If you are doing a national plan, you want to plan for education, what statistics are you using? Are you understanding? These are some of the issues. You need data. We're in a country where we don't produce the food we eat. I hope you are aware. We import a lot of food. Even the ones we have, we don't preserve them. We don't produce the oil that we use to drive our cars. We only have oil wells. Other people that are doing it for us. We don't produce the drugs we consume in this country. No single drug is manufactured in Nigeria. I hope you know. What they do is compounding. They just combine things the way they do at Kojo Assembly Plant in Kaduna. That's what our pharmaceutical industries are doing. Common starch is not made here. We're in a country where we don't, even the road we are passing through, the cloth you're wearing, our industries are all done. So I dream of a university that can be solving problems, national problems. That's why universities were established. They were not established to be giving certificates that have no value. Look at the rate of unemployment in the country. We have a lot of raw materials, but they are not being converted to useful things. So we need to change our way of thinking. And I will do as much as I can. Where I reach, the next will be prayers.
He finally charges students and university to bring about the desired change in the country.
I have always told our students they need to be very serious. The days that when students come out of school, a job is waiting, is gone. In fact, in Nigeria, before, all you needed was a primary school certificate. And they can give you any position in government. And then if you are lucky to have a secondary school certificate, you can be an ambassador. Are you getting it? But is that happening now? People with PhD are riding Okada. But that's the only job they can do. Do you know why? They were not taught what to do in school. Schools are meant to prepare people. That's why curriculum or curricula, whatever you want to call it, that's why they are made, to prepare somebody for his working life. Unfortunately, we are not doing that. We just give out certificate and somebody celebrates he has graduated. Graduated to become what? That's the question. So, that's my idea for the students that are creative. The other day I brought an army colonel to teach our students critical thinking. We need to think critically. If not, that you can sit on gold without knowing you are sitting on it. They say Africa has over 68% of the world's raw materials. Yet we are the poorest. So the education system, look, education is the catalyst for development. Our education system is very faulty. Either our curriculum is faulty because since independence, if we have produced our curriculum based on petrol that we have in abundance, by now, we won't be looking for white people to come and do those. We'll only be selling. But for now, I think we are begging. So, our students must change their psyche. They must change the way they think if this country has to move forward.
Hard work, dedication, success, achievement, versatility, position, power, all of these and more are the attributes of the professor. Michael Umale Adiku is a perfect example that a humble beginning, it's all it takes.
Something good is happening.